Regret is way scarier than fear, because the reality is what you are fearing, if it stops you from doing, you will live the majority of your 60 to 100-year-old life regretting, which is going to taste a lot worse than getting made fun of or failing. In this scenario, if you don't do it because you're scared of hurting some people's feelings because you left them behind, or if you talk shit and then you underdeliver, the fact that you're even asking the question is you're already crossed over to the danger zone. You have to do it or you're going to lose. Attention is the number one asset.
Okay, cool. So we're going to start as usual with some Discord questions. So the first one is from Chris.
Hey, Gary, can you hear me?
I can.
The question was, we spend $60,000 a year. I thought, why not just get 9 locations, 3 in each city, kind of space them out to where all the residentials are, then blow your Google My Business up, get reviews. Would that be better money spent?
Again, Chris, remind me, against which business?
Team veterans, we do pest control stuff, home services.
Right, so you're saying instead of spending the money on Google Leads, right, ads for it, are you better off to create locations and do
Correct.
And do local reviews? Have you done a location?
Yeah, we've done a location and we get a ton from it, but I was just thinking we don't really have 3 locations in the town, but we could just rent 3 one-room offices for like $200 a month.
Yep.
And then blow out those reviews. And now when someone types in pest control near me or Googles it, we'll actually be ahead of those people because we're near them.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you should, I think for everyone who's thinking about that stuff, what you should do is a couple at a time, not 9, right?
Not just overzealous.
No, it's by the way, you may end up doing 647 because it's the perfect plan. I just think it's the cadence of how many you do at once. Like the thesis is potentially right based on what I'm hearing, but first do it with 2 or 3, see what that tastes like and feels like, and then scale it from there.
Okay, and the second part of that question was, at what point, like, we do about $160 an hour, and so at that point, when do you, like, it's too much work and not enough money, at what point do you pivot and say, let's go find something that's $600 an hour or $1,000 an hour?
You mean a different service?
Yes.
Well, I think, again, if I'm running your business, I'm adding one service ASAP that is a higher margin item to see what happens. What are you considering as an add-on?
HVAC. It's about $350 an hour.
And do you have those people?
We don't. That's what I'm saying. Go ahead and kind of start looking for that.
Yeah, I think you get one in and you attack it and you start to add it, and that's how you brought it out. It's basically how I've always seen service businesses grow. You like bring in the right player. If that player is not good, you don't get discouraged. You bring them in again. You might hire the wrong HVAC, and then you attack. But I think that's right. You hire someone ASAP and you do it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to skip steps. I'm 1 through 3. Skip step 4, go to 5. Try to do that a little bit to kind of maximize the profit on it.
You look, LVMH and the fashion world, like it's clear that like if you can go higher, it gives you a lot more breathing room. If your top line revenue can only be so much, you're going to be always potentially squeezed with costs of goods, and so I think that's the way you go.
That's good. Thank you.
Jack?
Great, thank you. Yep, we're going to go to the next one from Anthony Marin. He asks, hi Gary, I opened and have been operating a brokerage/property management company for the past 2 to 3 years. My passion is investing in real estate, which I've done for over 10 years. And want to get back to that as I think the opportunities in the CRE market will be great over the next couple of years. I need to hire someone to run the brokerage. I know you're a big proponent of hire fast and fire fast, but does that apply to executives as well? Where do you find executives looking for new opportunities? Is there anything else I should be thinking about?
Yeah, I mean, even with senior executives, I think you can't be crippled by perfection. Here's what I mean by this. Look, if you put in more time with someone, you can get to know them more, right? We all know that. But don't forget, the interview process is a very fake process. You are getting the PR version of that person. Like in my entire career, I've never called a reference. Why would I call someone that you put on a piece of paper who I know 100% has already back-channeled with you that they're going to give you love when I call them? Right? And so what I worry about is that people are very indecisive and then they still have the same hit rate of if that person is good, right? So yes, I think you need to be decisive and make that decision, even if it's the most senior person. You shouldn't guess. I'm not saying hire someone frivolous. If someone's done it before, that's a good proxy for them to be able to do it. There's really only two ways to hire someone at that level. One, it's a person that's one level below that and they feel like they're ready and they can't get at their job, so they come to you. Or it's someone who's done it before, if it's that serious of a job. And so that's the kind of way that works. And then, you know, as far as finding someone, like Indeed and LinkedIn work very well. Not very hard to like list jobs and have people apply.
If you don't mind me just quick on that, are you looking for someone in your inner circle first?
Always.
Or are you going completely outside and
always inner circle, because you actually have the context, right? That is always the preference. But obviously there's a lot of times where you can't get it from your inner circle. Once you hit scale, like I have with VaynerMedia, I'm taking recommendation from the people I most like in the company. You know, if I trust you and you've been here for 3 years and I can go to you and be like, who can we trust that you've worked with in the past? That's always the best.
That's all. Well, wish me luck. I need to find someone within the next 6 to 12 months.
Kudos to you to giving yourself that kind of runway. It should allow you to be thoughtful, you know?
Yeah, no, it's not something I want to do quick, but I do want to get.
I would pound LinkedIn with videos, not just listings, but videos, you know?
Okay, we'll do. And I've asked you this question before, and I'll open it just real quick. Investing in real estate on the commercial level, do you have any opinion on that really quickly?
You know, it's hard. You know, I don't have to tell this group. Speculating on any asset can cause a lot of, you know, feelings. So I think it's going to be market by market. If, you know, based on, you know, Stephen Ross is one of the biggest commercial real estate guys in the world, business partner of mine, and I think it's very clear to me listening to some of his conversations that it's going to be market by market. I mean, there's never a bad time to make a good decision, and there's never a good time to make a bad decision. So we're talking macro right now, but in the micro, it's going to be based on what you actually pick, right?
Agreed.
You know what I mean, brother? Like New York City's the best, okay, but like you could still fuck up a New York City investment in 2 seconds. If you overpay for it, if it's the wrong thing, like there's macro trends, things change. And commercial real estate's interesting. Like if we're talking office buildings, it feels like companies want to get people back to 4 and 5, but you know, the reality is it might be priced in, right? Like it doesn't feel like the commercial real estate prices, as someone who's looking for space, it's not like the renting, even though there's so much inventory, the prices haven't come down on the A stuff. The B and C stuff has gotten murdered.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't want to be in the B stuff. Your A stuff hasn't really gotten hit. The B stuff got crushed.
Yeah, the C stuff got annihilated.
It's going to get knocked down. C and below just gets knocked down.
Right. Again, we're talking offices, commercial. If we're talking like storefront, fucking retail companies are getting annihilated. They're going out of business by the nanosecond if they're not doing DTC.
Yeah, I'm looking more at the multifamily, a lot of this Class A multifamily where these loans are going to reset. That's the stuff that these operators weren't ready for that. So those, I think, we'll be able to buy on you know, maybe 70 to 60 cents on the dollar.
I think that's right. And then what I would say then is really focus on B plus and above, so you're really like locked in.
Mm-hmm.
And I think where people get caught, Anthony, you know, this speculation of like, you know, like Yonkers is the next Brooklyn, and it takes like 53 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's kind of been me. I planted my flag in Newark, New Jersey, but I think we're finally having our time right now in Newark. I think things are really starting to pop off here.
Yeah, and as you know, because I'm a Jersey boy and I was watching, 11, 12 years ago we were talking that game, and for some people they were too early, and so getting that right. But to your point, it's starting to get there.
Yeah, agreed. I don't want to, you know, kind of all the time.
We got time. This helps. This is what's cool about the Hangout Hawks format. Macro things, even if it's not in the same business, could be applied for others. Some people are thinking about opening a second store, and maybe this helped them. So, no worries.
Thanks, Gary.
Thank you.
All right, next question is a parenting question from Laptop Laura.
Okay, yeah, so I was wondering how to kind of navigate and balance out that there shouldn't be a place trophies, i.e. winning is the ultimate goal, but also balance that with enjoy the process of trying to buy the jets as in like
Yep.
the journey, camaraderie, and the other stuff is most important?
I think it's a great question. I believe it's by getting to the middle of his natural reactions. So if he is like me and cries hysterically after he loses his first soccer game, you can sit down with him and be like, hey, brother, love you for that. Love the passion. Winning is something worth crying for. However, it doesn't define you, and you're not bad, and you don't stink, and you're not the worst. And enjoying getting better. Like if you lose the next game, that's also good, because wait till you feel like what it tastes like to win. If he's on the other side and he plays his first game and he's completely indifferent and he's like, who cares? You got to be like, life is about caring. The way to balance is actually by being the counter reaction to whatever the natural reaction is, bringing him to the middle.
You know, we haven't even had the first game, and he's like, I hope I win the trophy. And
Yeah.
so I'm like,
Yeah. And to me, I would say, well, if you're good enough, you're going to win the trophy. And if you're not, you're not.
mm-hmm.
And then his reaction was like very like no reaction. He was like, what do you mean? Like, kind of reinforce. So I think, that's where you go, right? You're teaching him merit there, which is going to matter a lot. That's where I think parents made a huge mistake. You go like, it doesn't matter about the trophy, honey. We're just going to have fun. No, I think one man's point of view, I'm definitely not telling you how to parent, but if you're asking, this is the general thing I'm seeing, the ability to be like, well, honey, if you and your team are good enough, you're going to win the trophy. And if there's a team that's better than you, they're going to get the trophy. We want to have fun, and you're going to get better, and maybe next year you'll win the trophy if you don't this year. That, you see what you see?
Totally. Thank you. I love this.
Yeah, I think it's super important.
Thank you. So the next Discord question is from Manny. If Manny asks, out of all the product/business pitch meetings you've listened to, what are the top 1 or 2 areas that are missed or underrepresented during the initial pitch? What do you look for that sets one product/company apart from the others?
The biggest thing that's missed is actually the thing that most people talk about. Let me give you the insight here for people that try to do stuff in the future. The thing that's missed is most people pitch me projections that are completely pulled directly out of their asshole. The thing that turns me off immediately, happened yesterday, is someone's like, our projections in year 3 say that we're going to do 35 million. And I'm like, how? And then that's when the whole thing fell apart. So what I'm looking for is common sense and practicality and practitionership, not financial engineering, school valuations, delusion. What's missed often is the respect for the intellect of the person on the other side. I think most people pitch from a very selfish place and are trying to create a story that gets them the money. But when someone tells me they're going to open up a baseball card store that's going to do $35 million in the first year, I'm like, how? And if they can't speak in massive detail of the miracle they're going to pull off, the fight is over. That's why 99% of pitches lose with me. When I ask them how or what, if they can't speak in detail to how they're going to create the demand, it's over. And most people don't know how to sell. They just think it's like, I'm going to make a peanut butter cup. I'm like, okay. We're going to build a SaaS company for lawyers. I'm like, okay, how are you going to get customers? That's what I think a lot of times. So for anybody who's trying to pitch or things of that nature, a level of practicality goes a long way.
Amazing. We have some hands raised. I could call on a bunch of people and we can get started. So the first one I did see was Ben Milch, if you want to go ahead and ask your question.
I'm really thinking about doing a TV ad. And when we spoke last, you had suggested that maybe since ultimately I'm trying to buy from boomers, maybe looking at TV as an underpriced attention might be a potential way to go.
Only if it's remnant inventory on cable and has a very direct call to action, phone number, QR code, believe it or not, converting very well 50 to 70-year-olds. Both would be my recommendation. I still think you'll win better on targeting on Facebook because you can build up to your cost of the inventory versus a commercial, because there's like a flat fee of getting in, which will be thousands and thousands of dollars. if you go remnant cable.
Well, I mean, in either way though, like, it's introducing me to people, but I don't necessarily know who those people are going to be. They might have $5,000 worth of cards. They might have $500,000 worth of cards.
That's true.
You know, so
To me, that's not the conversation. To me, the conversation is how do you do that at the lowest cost to you so you accomplish your business goal.
100%. The reason I was thinking about this is because we had been approached by this TV company that says, hey, we do this thing on like CNN Finance maybe or Bravo or something like that. And they gave me this whole pitch. We'd come out, we'd shoot it.
How much?
We'd put you on the show. We'd
How much?
promote it a little bit. We'd put you on podcasts.
How much?
We'd give you all the raw stuff, blah, blah,
How
blah,
much?
blah. And then it costs like 30 grand, let's say, something like that.
Pass.
And I'm like, I don't really think it makes sense to me,
Pass.
but they do of the whole production stuff.
Pass.
Fine, I hear.
Pass.
Great, okay, that's helpful. Okay, I'll go the other route.
Yeah, I mean, the production's very low. Like, you can get the D-Rocks and the Dust. I mean, production is like, for that, it's fucking $1,000.
Really? I mean, I've never done it, so I have no idea.
It's making a video.
Well, but it's also like the storyline and whatever.
Your fucking storyline is like, yo, it's me, Ben. I'm buying baseball cards. Do you have any? Call me.
Yes, that's true.
So what fucking story? What do you want to make a fucking
No,
Super Bowl
they
ad?
were going to talk about like different things about business and sports cards and technology and shit like that.
I got it. So you're talking more infomercial, longer form, not a
Yeah.
Got it.
Which they can also cut up into other things,
Yeah,
but
that-
then they're doing the whole thing for me.
Yeah, that's a little bit different. If you're talking about a 30-minute slot, I mean, Ben, we're
No, it's like a 15-minute slot.
still
10
different.
minutes.
Still different. More interesting. Send me over the proposal.
Okay,
I'll look at it.
thank you.
You're welcome. Hi, Anthony, come in.
Do you want to unmute? Yeah, ask your question.
Oh, sorry. Hey, what's up, guys? I have a strategy and PR company. I have one client that I got an intro to. I'm going to get one meeting, kind of a one-shot thing, but it's 10 times the size, maybe a little bigger, of what I usually work with. How best to approach that kind of a meeting?
One more time, brother. I apologize.
So, like, let's say a typical client of mine, I get $2,000 a month.
I see, and this is a 20 grand.
It's 20. It's actually more than that, but it's a significant.
Well,
So
why are they meeting with you?
I had a great idea for them. A friend of mine knows somebody in their PR communications team. Said he wanted, so he set it up for me. Basically,
Amazing.
I love this idea.
Yeah, look, I think you walk in transparently. You say do you feel like you're capable to service it?
Oh yeah, I mean, listen, if I need to get help, I'm happy.
Yeah, I think you speak to that. Be like, look, this is the timing I chose. If it gets to like, they're like, we love you, but like, who else do you work with? And they're like, wait a minute, we seem a lot bigger. That just becomes a conversation of very simply saying, look, this is the timing and the course of my company. Like, every client I'm taking going forward looks more like your profile, and you just happen to be the first conversation. And, I think it's an advantage. This is a very important line, Anthony. I think you say to them, look, I think from my perspective, obviously I'm biased, but from my perspective, Anthony, I think this is a big opportunity for you because, as you can imagine, since I'm now going into this realm, I can't afford for you to not go well because I'm going to need everybody else to work on that word of mouth. So you're going to get a lot more from me because it matters to me more. Right. And you're actually going to get over-serviced by me and my team. And so I think there's a lot there.
That's great. Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be hard to get people to help out once I know I have the path paved, so to speak.
Yep.
So there's but that's perfect. Thank you.
Good.
Excellent. Look forward to seeing you. Don't worry, I'll bring the heat.
Can't wait.
Nick Zell, do you want to go next? Had your hand raised for a while.
All right. So my partner and I, Steve, we're starting a brand based out of Boston. We have connections in Boston with like boutique shops and like the hype stores. We have it's a unisex brand, and we're trying to figure out and navigate how to expand this to a national level, not just be stuck in the Boston area. We have ideas through social media and whatnot, but I wanted to get your take on how to expand this thing.
Well, what's holding you back?
So we're just not sure. We're new to this. We had this idea. We're both like-minded. We have, I've told you previously about my family's, spiritually based business that we have, and Steve had this idea of, you know, a clothing brand with spiritually based things on the shirts, hoodies, and whatnot. And so we're new to this area, but we have the drive, we have the passion for, you know, building another business, and this is something that we've never stepped into, and we want to get your take on like what the best avenue is to get to where we need to be.
But what do you need to be? You need to sell as many of these shirts as possible?
To get a vision out there. It's not, you know, so we have this idea of like, I don't know if you're familiar with like life numbers, and
Yeah.
you know, so we.
Yeah, you're an 11, Gary. I'm an 11 too. You're a master number.
Nice.
So we want to, you know, get, like, my family has this spiritually based company where we're trying to get a message of like spiritual principles and like to help other people, and we want to be able to just like expand this all over. Like we have like this.
Yeah.
You know,
So
just like a set
yeah. So I think
about it.
it's called content on social media,
Okay. All right.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. We're not sure what, you know, is it like a LinkedIn page that we reach out to other businesses? Is it like an Instagram page where we talk about, you know, doing lives and talking about like what each number means and like just like teaching people, or is it, you know, like which direction is it that we?
The
that
answer
you would
the
suggest?
answer is yes.
Okay.
The answer is all of them. What people normally think, like everything you just said, well, both of those things matter, and many more things that are running through your mind. The thing I think that people don't understand when they're building a brand or a business is it's everything.
Yeah, because we're starting from the ground. It's something that neither of us have ever done, and it's but we were sitting talking the other night. We had this idea, and it's like the past like 5 days have been like just grinding, building. We already have samples made out. We're just like hitting the ground running, and we have that steam right now. We don't, you know, we want to know how to explode that. So
Have either one of you ever sold anything?
I own a masonry restoration company, so I sell jobs all the time. I do a lot of brick restoration and waterproofing.
But that's B2B more, right? That's like smaller, big, not like high volume items like this, right?
So I'm used to like 20, 30 grand checks at a time.
Yeah.
So this is like, we plan to sell them for like between $80 and $100 a shirt. Well, you know, nice quality. Our market's probably like, you know, basketball players and stuff like that. But we also want to get into like Pac Sun. So I was thinking maybe we build a LinkedIn and we get on and kind of just, you know, business development and work a relationship with somebody.
Yeah, the problem is if you go that route, they're getting 1 million of those inquiries. You need to create consumer demand now before they're going to take you serious.
Yes, yeah.
You spamming people on LinkedIn and be like, buy our shit is not going to convert at the highest levels.
Right, yeah. Yep. Maybe sit outside the Encore Casino and wait for Jason Tatum to come in and give him a t-shirt. Because it's dope drip. Like, it's some fire stuff. Like, I've done a lot of breath work and deep meditations with some, like, tantric healers. And I've gotten, like, visions that, in my head, visually, that I want to put on the shirt, so to speak. Like some angel stuff and all this. It's cool. So it's different. It's something that it's not out there, and I've seen what they have out there for like angel stuff. And you know, I don't want to sound, you know, conceited or cocky or anything, but the shit that's in my head blows them out of the water. It's just this part of getting it going.
Understood.
You know.
Yep. Yeah. You've gotta really add either internally or externally another person who knows how to sell shit. Let's go to Joseph.
Hey, Gary and everyone. How you doing?
Good, brother.
Good. I'm Joe from Long Island, actually a friend and a guest of Benny Fisher. So I'm taking a spot today. I appreciate being able to be on the call. I have more of a personal question rather than a business question. I hope that's all right.
Of course.
Yeah, I'll be quick, but just to preface it for you. So I own a couple construction companies, and recently they run themselves pretty well, right? So I've had some space to think about like what I want to do now, how much money I want to make, what I want to be known for, and really like the type of leader I want to be for my family and my kids. Like what's next for me, right? So I've been writing all that down, like my personal vision, and the vision I have for myself and who I want to be feels kind of scary. feels like I have to become a different person, maybe leave some friends, some old habits, stuff like this. And some days I feel confident in my abilities to become this person. Other days I feel maybe a little insecure, a little unconfident. So my question to you is, if you have a bigger vision for yourself and you know you have like a bigger purpose, how do you generate and maintain like the confidence, maybe the feeling of self-merit and belief in yourself to stay steady towards that?
By knowing that regret is way scarier than fear. Let's play this out. You like that one, Ben? That was good. Dustin wasn't paying attention, but we'll clip it. I got it. Joking. That's why. Because the reality is what you are fearing, if it stops you from doing, you will live the majority of your 60 to 100-year-old life regretting, which is going to taste a lot worse than getting made fun of or failing in the attempt that you're looking at in front of you.
Right. That's powerful to think about.
It's very real, right? Like, I think people are so short-sighted. It goes back to even, what we were just talking about with Constantine or what we just talked about with VeeFriends. Like, what I definitely know is no matter how the cookie crumbles, like, I'm going to work on this to make it as good as possible forever, right? You can, because I don't want it to go any other way. And so I don't think people think like, okay, if this, then that, you could, and so in this scenario, if you don't do it, because you're scared of hurting some people's feelings because you left them behind, or if you talk shit and then you underdeliver, that you're a loser. Like, the fact that you're even asking the question is you're already crossed over to the danger zone. You have to do it or you're going to lose.
Right. Yeah, wow, that's powerful. Thanks, man.
Of course, my brother.
Thank you. Joel, do you want to go next?
Hi, Gary. Thank you for this. So, it's a business question. We're a digital marketing agency, and we're transitioning from a done-for-you model towards more training and programs, brought about by the majority of our clients being small business owners. And I just want to make sure what's the best way I can deliver beyond their expectations. I want them to come in and be just like blown away.
Look, I think that's subjective, right? Like, you don't want to be crippled by that. What you want to do is you want to deliver on what you're saying, obviously. And then, you can add some surprise and delights to it. If you say, hey, here's what you're going to get, and then you're able to do a little bit more, then you'll exceed their expectations.
Cool. Easy.
Yeah, not super complicated. Everyone's going to have different reactions to whether they were blown away or not. You can't be crippled by that. What you want to do is, in however you're doing your video or your landing page or however you're communicating to them, this is what you get. If you say it's 3 weeks and then at the end of 2 weeks, you're like, oh, there's another week. Well, that's going to get a good response. If you say it's all automated, but then you do an actual Q&A with everyone, So there's ways to do it.
Yeah, I think I maybe need to hold some stuff back and actually keep some surprises back.
Yeah, you could, or you could just, in the beginning, the first year, deliver on everything and see what people value and then adjust, making that a surprise or making that the lead. Remember, it's like anything. Like, I think people, when they think about things, don't think about the adjustments along the way. Right? So, for all of us, and I see Karsum, shaking his head, like, it's adjustments along the way. Like, there's many things I have planned out for, VeeFriends or Vayner or my life, and there's realities and you adjust along the way. But as long as you keep good intent and you keep working hard and doing the best you can, like, good things always fall in the end. And I rely on that, and I think you can here too.
Yeah, this is a big shift for us from working with a handful of big clients to working with a lot of smaller clients.
Are you in a place where you can do both for a little while to hedge the risk?
Yeah, there's a crossover.
Right.
So
great.
Sweet. Thank you so much.
No problem. Let's sneak one more in, Jack.
One more. Emil, do you want to go?
Cool. I got another question. Last time I was talking a bit about sort of getting the podcast sort of up and running, and that's sort of in progress. There's something else I want to do now as well, which is kind of a focus on almost like a YouTube kind of video series on exploring houses in Tokyo.
Smart.
Sort of like the $1 million listing.
Yeah, I got
kind
it.
of thing. Yeah, very, very straightforward. It's overseas, but not really relevant, happening in Japan.
Yep.
I want to do that, but one thing I'm struggling with is how much should I just do as, start small and just play with it and just get, some part-timer to come and hold the camera and do it for me versus
that. Because you can always go into episode 4 and level it the fuck up, or you can waste time, energy, lack of speed, and money and do 10 episodes and no one gives a fuck.
But the bit where I'm sort of conflicted on is, I guess, similar to you with VeeFriends, right? At what now, because you have a product, you want to ship, everything needs to be at a certain sort of level.
Yeah, but product and content are in very different places. You're talking about content. What you're talking about doing has worked both ways on YouTube. Higher production value and low production value, and both have won. There's one difference. Low production value is faster and cheaper, and you'll get an answer quicker if you've got something.
Okay. Yeah.
The only people that should do high production value for YouTube are the people that can afford to lose all of it and are just like in that place in their lives. Otherwise, it's just so practical to do the other way. All right, I gotta run. Hawks, love you.
Thanks so much, guys.
Love you. Have the best day.
Have a good day.